I'd like to dedicate this talk to four dear macrobiotic friends who have recently passed. Of course, the first is my beloved Sheldon. Then also, we recently had Warren Kramer, who transitioned. Then Mark Hanna, and most recently, just this last Saturday at ESCO. So I'd like to dedicate this talk to all of these people. Some of you may know that several friends elected to participate in a brown rice fasting experiment whose purpose was cleansing and, in a sense, rebooting our systems. The so-called number 7 Osawa rice fast was an opportunity for us who participated to reset our systems, test our will, and practice assiduous chewing. When we started, we asked ourselves some beginning reflective questions. We wanted to clarify for ourselves what is our reason for undertaking this 10-day rice fast. Maybe it was curiosity, or maybe just to see if we could. Some wanted to lose weight. Some wanted to address health issues. Then at the end, asking ourselves, did we achieve this goal? What observations can we make as we go through? And finally, was it worthwhile? So to this end, we recorded, or those of us who chose to, a daily journal with daily appreciations. That always feels good. Recording and paying attention to our energy levels, our sleep habits, our bowel movements, and any discharges that might have come about, including changes in urination, mood fluctuations, and that kind of thing. The good news is that we all survived. Some of us just barely, or close calls, myself included, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment as we continue here. So I kept a journal, and I'll share with you a little bit of my experience. The day before we started, I gave an instructional video. And if you'd like to see this video or any of the other ones that we had speakers come on to encourage us throughout the 10 days, look just below where it says YouTube, and you can see all of these videos. So I gave a cooking class on the staples of the diet, which were very simply organic short grain brown rice, gomasio, which is sesame salt as a condiment, tamari pickles, and bancha tea. That's it. That was our diet for 10 days. When we began day one, which was Sunday on the 28th of November, I weighed myself at 50 kilograms, not a lot, and pretty much my regular weight for a while. I kept up usual activities. I did a strenuous morning walk for an hour, and I chewed. I counted in about 130 chews per mouthful. So that was the diet. And that first day, I only ate about a cup and 3/4 of rice the entire day. And I went to bed hungry because I wanted to stop 2 hours before I went to bed, and I was tired. So I went to bed early. So we were guided for the first opportunity by Michael Rossop, who gave us a warning not to become too young. And of course, yeah, that sounds good. I didn't quite know what that means. We were following the initial recommendations of Dr. Mark van Kouwenberg, who presented a kind of samurai version of this 10-day number 7 diet. By the next day, I already saw that my weight had dropped about 1/2 kilo or 1 pound. And I continued with my usual exercises. I went to a water aerobics class at the gym, the jacuzzi, the saunas, wet and dry, that I enjoy so much, and then even a visit to a nearby city. So I had an active day. And in the evening, I was looking for a nash, a snack, and no such thing. It's just chewing. Whenever I'm really hungry, that's when I ate. Day 3, I was already down to 49 kilos. I was happy about that. What woman doesn't like to get skinny, right? And constipation, which was a theme throughout this entire experience, was finally I had kind of, we could say, constipated bowel movement. I felt tired and nothing debilitating. I felt good. And on that day 3, Sandy Pukel met with us to cheerlead us and encourage. So that was very nice. Day 4, my weight stayed steady and still no bowel movement to the end of the whole 10-day experience. I went on a field trip, a trip that I had planned a while ago with a group of people, and I brought 4 rice balls with me. And I made 6 more for a Hanukkah party that I was invited to for the next night. So 1 rice ball I chewed on the bus going down. I sat by myself so I could focus and concentrate. And then the second one I ate after the museum visit at a nearby library, where again, I could be by myself. I noticed a slight backache, surely a sign of becoming too tight or too young. And again, what does that mean, too young? Okay. Day 5, my weight dropped even more, this time quite a lot, to 46.4 kilograms. Again, no bowel movement. I was kind of in a down mood, I have to say. I was kind of sad and discouraged. And 2 possible reasons. One is that we had a memorial service for dear Sheldon, which is, of course, very touching. And the other, I think, also contributing factor is that I was eating this old rice, these rice balls that I had made already, and were kind of getting old. And it was interesting to see that I didn't have the usual energy that I get from fresh brown rice or freshly cooked food. So I cooked a new pot of rice and I felt much better. So that was very interesting to see these things. Days 6, 7, 8, my weight held at about 46 kilo, still no bowel movement, no discomfort. We met with Lisa Silverman, who talked about transitioning from the diet, and just a few days after that, she advised, take it easy, just let it develop slowly, don't jump to a wider diet. And I didn't quite realize what this meant. In just a moment, I'll tell you about my transition. I will say that I had a wonderful dream about Sheldon that was so comforting, and I woke up very happy from it. Another thing that I experienced was a clarity in my thinking. The rice fast simplifies life and takes away choices. It takes away food choices, and that can be refreshing for a while. At the same time, I felt myself fairly restricted and not able to access enough variety to really find my happiness and my experience in life. So big front, big back. I had insights about this time. And for me, that was what made the entire experience worthwhile. I remember Jessica Porter advised, she said, it's always best to really listen to yourself, and rice helps with that. And I really appreciated that. So I felt both grounded from the root of the rice, grounded in the earth, and liberated or free from the rice that grows straight up. So it was a liberating feeling. And I realized several things, key factors in a relationship, the light of kindness and strength coming from within me, not from thinking, from stillness and allowing. And these thoughts were very encouraging and sustaining. Day 9, on Monday, a beautiful golden floater. Hallelujah. That felt good. I went to an aerobics class again, water aerobics, again, followed by the jacuzzi, the wet sauna, the dry sauna. And then I experienced and understood what it meant to be too young. When I came out of this strenuous exercise and then these hot treatments, the jacuzzi, the sauna, the hot sauna, the wet sauna, I was so dizzy that I had floaters in front of my eyes, and I thought I was done for. My vision clouded. I felt terrible, weak and dizzy. I had to sit down on the floor, and of course, everyone came running. My weight by this time had gone down to 44 kilograms, which is about 105 pounds, the lowest since when I was a girl. I was hungry all the time and eating another half cup of rice every few hours, trying to expand myself, we could say. Luckily, it didn't take me long to recover, and I really understood from that what it means to be imbalanced. And it felt like a close call, so I thought I would share that, because hearing these ideas too young, it's like, what does that mean? To experience it in my body was a very powerful experience. So day 10, finally, my weight was holding at 105 pounds. Denny Waxman spoke to the group, and he recommended intermittent fasting next time rather than a repeat of this austere diet. And I could say that the whole experience was good, and good that it was. I was glad to put it behind me. So just a cautionary tale here. As I mentioned, I interpreted the warning about easing off the fast as meaning softer foods, soups, porridges, and I didn't pay enough attention to the amounts. So I overate all these things. And I suffered for a few days from this. I regurgitated. I had 3 days of diarrhea, weakness. I had been warned, and I didn't realize the effect of too much of a good thing. So finally, day 12, feeling good, sticking with my no snacking rule, and happy for the interface with the teachers along the way, each one with a different message. So that's pretty much my report here. Let's see. One of the highlights, I could say, was the esprit de corps, the camaraderie amongst our fasting group. We encouraged each other with our victories. We emphasized our good points. We talked about our hardships, and participating in a joint effort made the experience enjoyable, even when it wasn't, and congratulatory when it was. The rice fast ranks in the category of something one has to do at least once in a lifetime. This was actually my second time after one more experience probably 40 years ago. And now we can check it off our bucket lists. So onward and upward to the next challenge, and congratulations to the brave young and older adventurers. I'm glad for this experience and the opportunity also to lead and to support the group. I couldn't have done it without them. And an added bonus, I was able to sit comfortably in lotus position. So that's always very nice. So finally, I'll just say that in a book I was reading during this time by Osawa on the fasting, George Osawa says, quote, "Happiness is a joyfulness resulting from a healthy, productive, and exciting longevity," end quote. So I asked myself, how can I be productive? And when I asked myself, was the fast worthwhile? I can say that I'm glad for the experience. I learned a lot about yin and yang on my own body. So that's a very valuable experience, and I'm glad to have had it. So thank you all for listening.